morning students. Let's start with one of our another topic from class 8 in history, that is our chapter number 5, when people rebel 1857 and after. Students, first of all we need to know what do you mean by rebel. Rebel means to go in opposition or to criticize someone. So what we are going to study in this particular chapter is that in 1857 or after 1857, people in India started uniting and they started rebelling Britishers because they want to extinguish or finish the British rule from India. So let's begin, students. Our first topic is policies and the people. So what we can say? We can say that kings, queens, peasants, landlords, tribal, soldiers, etc. These all were affected by the different policies created by the Britishers, because British policies were not following, were not impressing or were not good for Indians. That is why they want to rebel Britishers. You have also seen how people resist policies. Resist means are not ready to accept policies, are criticizing policies and actions that harm their interests and go against their sentiments. So I have already told this thing to you that all the British policies were not in the favor of Indians. That is why by this timing, that is till 1857, Indians have decided to rebel, that is to go against the interest of the Britishers because they were not following the interest of Indians. The next is Nawabs lose their power. Now what happened by this time being that East India Company was established so well being that all the Indian Nawabs slowly and steadily started losing their powers. Now what is said here, just see. Nawabs and the Rajas had seen their power erode. Erode means their powers got completely extinguished. Nawabs were Nawabs by name only. They have no powers with them because the complete power exists in the hands of East India Company or in the hands of Britishers. They had gradually lost their authority and honor. They have no authority, they have no honor. The freedom of the rulers reduced, their freedom got reduced. Their army forces disbanded. Their army were not allowed to fight without the British permissions or the East India Company permission, and their revenue and the territories taken away by the stages. Whatever revenue was collected by the Nawabs, that they need to deposit it with the East India Company. So that is how all the Nawabs started losing their powers. But by this time they have no authority, no power with them. Many ruling families try to negotiate with the company to protect their interest. Many ruling families, negotiate means try to bargain with the East India Company. That as we are the Nawabs of India, just let's have come to particular conclusion that we can also enjoy our power, but no conclusion was derived by them. For example, if we are talking about royal families and their powers got eroded, they want to protect their own interest. So what I told you, that these royal Nawabs give certain offers to Britishers, certain offers to East India Company, that please accept these offers so that we can also protect our interests. Now one example is given here, and that is regarding Rani Lakshmi Bai. Rani Lakshmi Bai, obviously she belongs to Jhansi, and she wants the company means the East India Company, to recognize her adopted son as the heir to the kingdom after the death of her husband. Rani Lakshmi Bai's husband got died, and what was the rule? That only the real son of the king can be on the throne and not the adopted son. This was the rule. So Rani Lakshmi Bai just gave this request or gave this particular, you can say, note to East India Company that she wanted her adopted son. What was the name of her adopted son that we are going to study? That is her husband Nana Sahib. Name of her adopted son is Nana Sahib. She wanted Nana Sahib to be the heir for her kingdom. because that was not in rule at that time. So Nana Sahib, the adopted son of Peshwa Bajirao II, pleaded that he be given his father's pension. She pleaded that he should be given his father's pension when the latter died, when his father died after that. However, the company, confident to its superiority and military powers, turned down these pleas. Jhansi Rani or Lakshmibai pleaded for this, that her adopted son Nana Sahib would be accepted as heir of the throne of the kingdom, but British East India Company didn't accept her plea. The next another examples are also there, that is regarding Awadh. Awadh was also one of the last territories that was annexed at that time, or that got finished at that time, because Nawabs were not having any power and the rule of the East India Company was established there. Now what happened? A subsidiary alliance was imposed on Awadh. Now what was subsidiary alliance? We have already studied about subsidiary alliance in our last chapter, and under subsidiary alliance the whole area or the province of Awadh was taken over, was captured by the East India Company. Governor General Dalhousie declared that the territory was being misgoverned and the British rule was needed to ensure proper administration. Now see, as East India Company was capturing Awadh, they need to give certain reason that why Awadh Nawabs cannot reside there. What can be the reason why they are capturing Awadh? So they gave the reason that the administrative system in Awadh is not proper, that is misgoverned, and that need to be properly established. That is why the British East India Company is capturing Awadh. So we have studied two examples. First one is regarding Rani Lakshmibai and second one is regarding Awadh. Now let's move ahead. The company even began to plan how to bring the Mughal dynasty to an end. At that moment, we have studied in our last chapter also, in 7th class also, we have studied this thing in a separate chapter, that Mughal Empire was a very big empire and Mughals were successful in capturing the large territory or large boundaries of India. So British East India Company have made several strategies on capturing or on defeating the Mughal dynasties as well. The name of the Mughal king was removed from the coins minted by the company. So in order to extinguish, in order to finish the Mughal dynasty, what step they take? They decided that from now onwards the coins that were minted in Mughal dynasty, now that is not going to have the photo of the Mughal king or the stamp of the Mughal king. Then is the Governor General Dalhousie announced that after the death of Bahadur Shah Zafar, who was Bahadur Shah Zafar? Bahadur Shah Zafar was obviously Mughal emperor, and they decided that after the death of Bahadur Shah Zafar, the family of the king would be shifted out of the Red Fort. They used to reside in Red Fort, and all of you know about Red Fort. Beautiful building, and Britishers want to capture it. And they passed this law that after the death of Bahadur Shah Zafar, his whole family need to left that place. Which place? Red Fort. They need to vacate that place and they have to got shifted at some other place. Now what happened? The Governor General Canning decided that Bahadur Shah Zafar would be the last Mughal king, and after his death none of his descendants would be recognized as kings, they would just be called princes. Now another Governor General, and that is Canning, he said that Bahadur Shah Zafar would be the last Mughal emperor, and after him no other Mughal emperor will be there. All his descendants will be treated as the princes but not as the emperor. So moving ahead students, I hope this topic is clear to you. Our next topic is the peasants and the sipais. Now you are getting the students. We are studying that why, what is the reason why people started rebelling, why people started criticizing British East India Company. So what we have studied? We have studied first one is that the policies of British East India Company were not in the favor of Indians, and second one is that all the Nawabs in India completely lost their power. That means the East India Company was successful in capturing India as a whole. And that is the reason people started rebelling against British East India Company. Then the next topic is the peasants and the sepoys. Now what is the reason for the peasants and the sepoys? Why they started rebelling against the British East India Company? The reason is because they were asked for high taxes. Students, you know this thing very well that at that moment peasants were not having that amount of money that they can pay taxes to the Britishers. That is why what they decided? They decided that they are going to criticize the East India Company because they have no money available with them. Thereafter, yes, they were forced for revenue collection. They are denying that we were not having any money to pay to the Britishers, but still they were forced to pay money to the British East India Company. And that is the reason they started criticizing or they started rebelling the East India Company. And the next is, many failed to pay back their loans to the money lenders. Obviously, when they were forced to pay money, they were forced to pay taxes to the British East India Company. What does that mean? That they need to arrange the money. And when they want to arrange money for themselves, then what options they are left with? They need to approach to money lenders. And money lenders used to provide money to them at a very high rate of interest. And they were unable to pay this interest rate to them. The next is, the Indian sepoys in the employ of the company also had reason to discontent. All the Indian employees, all the Indian sepoys who were there in British army, they also started rebelling against the East India Company. And the reason for that, they were unhappy with their pays. They were doing equal work like East India workers were doing, but they were not giving good pay like the Indian soldiers were given. They were not given with proper allowances and the condition of services. Some of the new rules moreover violated their religious sentiments and beliefs. They are not given with the pays, good salaries were not given to Indian soldiers, and along with that, East India Company was also hurting Indian soldiers' sentiments, religious sentiments, and how that is mentioned here. And like if you talk about, you can say some of the examples. So we will see about those examples in this chapter ahead. So what is said here, or how the religious sentiments got violated, we will study about that. And one example is regarding Mangal Pandey, where you have observed that he rebelled because the pork of cow was used in the cartilage of the gun, and that is and cow, Indian soldier used to worship cow, and that is why their religious sentiments got hurt and they started rebelling East India Company. Other examples are also going to be there. We will have a look at those. Now let us see some other reasons. Now what is said here? It is said that the East India Company instructed Indian sepoys or told them that they need to go to Burma by the sea route to fight for the company. What I said, the East India Company instructed Indian sepoys that they need to go to Burma to fight for East India Company via sea routes. But what happened? The Indian soldiers refuses to follow this order. They do not want to go to Burma for fighting for the East India Company via sea routes. Why? Though they agreed to go the land route, they are ready to go for the East India Company, but they want to go by land route, not by the sea route. They were severely punished, and since the issue did not die down, and as they were not ready, they were rebelling that they don't want to go by sea routes, the British East India Company punished them. Thereafter, students, the company passed a new law in which the East India Company stated that every new person who took employment in the company's army had to agree to go overseas if required. New law was framed by East India Company which states that if an Indian person became an employee or became a member of British's army, then he cannot deny to go to particular place via sea route. The next is, Sipahi also reacted to what was happening in the countryside. Now these are the problems that Sipahis were facing. Other than they were also seeing the things that were happening inside the country. Now what were these things? Many of them were peasants and had families living in their villages. Many Indian soldiers who were serving the British army, they were peasants only and their families were residing in the villages. So the anger of the peasants quickly spread among the Sepoys. So in the last paragraph we studied that peasants were also troubled. So their anger, as their family was in trouble, and that particular thing was also there in the mind of Indian soldiers, and that is the reason they started defaming or they started rebelling the British East India Company. The next is responses to reforms. Now, the British believes that the Indian society had to be reformed. Now, what do you mean by reformation? Reformation means to bring in some new changes for the sake of good. Now, this was a good step that was taken by British East India Company. Britishers said that certain practices were there in India that were following and that were not good for the society. So, those practices needs to be abolished. Now what were those practices and how those practices got abolished? Because the British East India Companies framed certain laws or passed certain laws for that. Laws were passed to stop the practice of sati and encourage the remarriage of widows. This was one of the good job that was done by Britishers. Earlier sati practice was there and widow remarriage concept was not there in India. So Britishers passed the law so that this situation can be taken into proper scenario. The next is English language education was actively promoted. Earlier what happened, Indian used to get education either in the form of their own language, that is Hindi language, or Sanskrit language was followed. But Britishers passed such a law that give an initiative to English as a language. After 1830, the company allowed Christian missionaries to further freely its domain and even own land and property. Now see, what strategies opted by Britishers here? Britishers give a special permission to Christians, that all the Christians were given special permission by the Britishers that they can function freely. No restriction would be implied on them by the Britishers as they were Christians, because Christianity is not the religion from India. That is the religion from their side, from Britishers' sides only. So what they said that, and why they passed this law that Christians were given, or they were given the freedom to enact freely. They were given this power because they want maximum number of Indians to adapt Christianity as their religion. And the main reason behind that is they want to, you can say, extinguish, they want to finish all the Indian religions from the society. That is the only reason behind that. This law allowed an Indian who had converted to Christianity to inherit the property of his ancestors. What was the rule? Indians were not allowed to inherit the property of their ancestors. But if an Indian got converted into Christianity, then he would have been provided with this right. And why this right is given to them, that I have already told you, students. Many Indians began to feel that the British were destroying their religion. This I already told you, their main strategy is to destroy Indian religions completely from the society. Their social customs and their traditional way of life. Basically, they want to convert India into their version. They do not want that Indian people follow Indian traditions or Indian practices. There were, of course, other Indians who wanted to change existing social practices. You will read about these reforms in next chapter. Certain reforms we have already discussed. Now let's move ahead, students. Our next topic is a mutiny becomes a popular rebellion. From the very starting only, we are discussing the various topics that why people started doing rebellion against the East India Company. Among them, one was the mutiny. Now we need to understand that what is mutiny. Mutiny, we can say, when soldiers as a group disobey their officers in the army. See what happened. If only a single representative or only a single soldier used to disrespect the East India Company, then the East India Company punishes that person. Other soldiers got scared and they started following the rules established by the East India Company. That was their strategy. But when Indian soldiers saw this thing, that how their peasants were troubled, how their families were troubled, and how they were facing the problem, they decided that in group, in harmony, unitedly, they are going to face the East India Company and they are going to rebel the East India Company. They are not going to support the Britishers' army. That is, a mutiny becomes a popular rebellion. They rebel in group. So what is said here, those struggles between rulers and the ruled are not unusual. Sometimes such struggles became quite widespread as a popular resistance. Widespread means at a large scale, at large level, people started resisting East India companies so that the power of the state breaks down. I already told you, when the maximum number of people are coming in harmony to oppose the East India Company, what will happen? East India Company got breakdown. A very large number of people began to believe that they have a common enemy and rise up against the enemy and at the same time. Now by this time being, all the Indians, whether we are talking about sepoys, whether we are talking about peasants, whether we are talking about tribal groups, or we are talking about ordinary people, all the people by this time being have realized that they have one common enemy for them. And who was that common enemy? That was Britishers, or the British East India Company. And the only way to get rid of their policies or to get rid of Britishers is that they need to work in harmony. Now what they did? For such a situation to develop, people have to organize, communicate, take initiative. Initiative means to take first step from their will and display the confidence to turn the situation around. That is, they need to work in harmony. Such a situation developed in the northern parts of India, and after 100 years of conquest and administration, the East India Company faced a massive rebellion. From the past 100 years, Indians were rebelling against the Britishers, and now after 100 years, massive means at a large scale, at huge level. You can say from a child to an adult, all members in India were now ready to fight against the Britishers because they want freedom for themselves. So that take a form of massive rebellion by this time maybe. And so what is said here, the English East India Company faced a massive rebellion that started in May 1857 and threatened the company's very presence in India. Now Indians started threatening Britishers that you have no other options than to leave India. Sepoys mutilated in several places beginning from Meerut, and a large number of people from different sections of the society rose up in their rebellion. So Sepoys started their march from Meerut and other people of the society also joined this rebellion. Some regard it as the biggest armed resistance to colonialism in the 19th century anywhere in the world. At that timing, this was the biggest rebellion or the massive rebellion that was faced by Britishers or faced by British East India Company at that time. So students, our next topic is from Meerut to Delhi. So we are going to study, in the last session I told you that Meerut was the place from where mutiny or group of soldiers started their campaigning against the Britishers. So how they did this all, from how they covered this whole area from Meerut to Delhi, we are going to study about that in this topic. On 29th March 1857, a young soldier, and that is Mangal Pandey. I have already given this example to you in the started where I told you regarding the hurting of religious sentiments of the people. That is what said here again. Mangal Pandey was hanged to death. For why he was hanged? Because he attacked his officers in Barakpur. And why he attacked his officers? because some days later some sepoys of the regiments at Meerut refused to do the army drill using the new cartilage, because the cartilage that were provided to Indians in gun was made up with the bone of the fat of the cow and the pigs. And you know this thing very well that Indians were a big worshipper of cow, and that is why they have the main reason to deny this, and massive rebellion took place. 85 sepoys were dismissed from their service and sentenced to 10 years in jails, as they started disobeying the rules that we were not ready to use these cartilage made up of the fat of cow, what was done by the Britishers. They started giving imprisonment to them, they started hanging them, but they were ready because now they were in the situation of do or die. They just want the British East India Company to got completely escaped from India. The response of the other Indian soldiers in Meerut was quite extraordinary. Other Indian soldiers were also started supporting them. On 10th May, the soldiers marched to jail in Meerut and released the imprisoned sepoys. Now what happened? Group of soldiers in harmony, they went to the jail and they released all the Indian sepoys from there because they want support from them. They attacked and killed British officer. Obviously British official security would be there, so they just attacked them and get the Indian sepoys released from jail. They captured guns and ammunition and set fire to the buildings and the properties of the British and declared war on the Firangis. So this was the time when Indians started using the violence means to go against or to rebel against the Britishers. Indians killed British soldiers, captured their property, fired their buildings and collected all the guns from them, because that material is going to help them to fight against Firangis. Now who were Firangis? Outsiders. The Britishers were Firangis for us. The soldiers were determined to bring an end to the rule in the country, but who would rule the land instead? The soldiers had an answer to this question: the Mughal Emperor Bahadur Shah Zafar. You remember, students, in the starting of the chapter I told you that Bahadur Shah Zafar was imprisoned, and they said that after the death of Bahadur Shah Zafar, his family member would be relieved from Red Fort and Red Fort would be captured by British East India Company. Now as people started rebellion against the British East India Company, the Britisher asked to the people that if British East India Company is not going to rule people, then who is going to rule people? Then people replied in return that Bahadur Shah Zafar was only going to be the emperor or the ruler for Indians. They were ready to accept him as their emperor or ruler. The sepoys of Meerut rode all night of the 10th May to reach Delhi. They just kept on marching for the whole night because they want to reach Delhi. In the early hours next morning, as news of their arrival spread, the regiment stationed in Delhi also rose up in rebellion. They started marching from Meerut and they were moving to Delhi. And in Delhi, other persons were also standing there to join them because they want to attack Britishers in group as in harmony, unitedly. So what happened? Again, British officers were killed. I already told you starting only. Indians were in do or die situation. They adopted all the violent means and they started killing Britishers. They started obtaining all their guns, seizing their properties or burning their properties. All those means were burnt by them. Then instrument soldiers gathered around the walls of the Red Fort where Badshah lived, demanding to meet him. People gathered there and they want to meet the Badshah there. The emperor was not quite willing to challenge the mighty British power, but the soldier persisted. Britishers do not want to leave Red Fort. They were not at all ready to leave India. But now Indians started pressurizing Britishers that you have no other options other than to leave India. They forced their way into palace and proclaimed Bahadur Shah Zafar as their leader. So when willingly Britishers were not ready to left the Red Fort, they forcefully entered Red Fort and declared that their Bahadur Shah Zafar was their new leader, and they are going to work under the leadership of Bahadur Shah Zafar only. They would not listen to the Britishers or to the East India Company. The next is the aging emperor had to accept his demand. Now the emperor who was there in Red Fort, obviously he was in pressure and he had to listen their demand. He wrote letters to all the chiefs and rulers of the country to come forward and organize a confederacy of Indian states to fight to the Britishers. Now what said when Bahadur Shah, this emperor means Bahadur Shah Zafar, when he was established there, he wrote letter to other Nawabs also, other Indians also, just that come and join us so that we can fight against Britishers. Now what said, this single step taken by Bahadur Shah Zafar has a great implication. As he wrote this letter, he took this initiative. This was of great significance for Indians. The Mughal dynasty had ruled over a variety or a large part of the country. Most smaller rulers and chieftains controlled different territories on the behalf of Mughal ruler. Now Bahadur Shah Zafar, what he started? He started establishing small chieftains or small rulers at different places, so that slowly we would be able to grab our captured property from Britishers back. So what said, many of them felt that if Mughal emperor could rule again, they would be able to rule their own territories once more under Mughal authority. They were also thinking this thing, that once they are going to get in power, Mughal authority is going to get established complete in the country. So the British had not expected this to happen. This was very difficult scenario or situation with the Britishers, because they were facing mass rebellion from Indians. They thought the disturbance caused by the issue of the cartilage would die down. Now they started thinking that what was the reason behind the mass rebellion from the Indian side. Then they thought that as they forced the Indian soldiers to use cartilage made up of cow's pork, that can be the reason. So what they decided? But Bahadur Shah Zafar's decision to bless the rebellion changed the entire situation dramatically. Often when people see an alternative possibility, they feel inspired and enthused. It gives them the courage, hope and confidence to act. As Bahadur Shah Zafar was completely supporting all the Indians, they got more energy to fight against Britishers. And that's it for the day, students. We will discuss about rest of the topics in our next video. Thank you, students.